everybody, it's Justin here, aka Demonic Sweaters. Today I've got a drum lesson all about feel and groove and flow. Now, what are those things? Feel and groove and flow. You might hear that a lot. And kind of one of those things that I really didn't figure out a good way to really explain this until very recently. I've been teaching drums for a really long time, but just recently I came up with a observation of my own playing that I never really noticed until just recently. But I think it really has a lot to do with number one, how to have a good feel when you're playing, and number two, how to have a good flow when you're playing. So what that means, if you watch, I'll try to demonstrate poor flow and feel if I can. It's kind of difficult for me to do because I've been playing for so long, but I'm going to try. So here we go. Okay, now you might have noticed there, actually, let me do that again. Let me make it a little worse. So here's another one with the arms going this time. I don't know, I'm really bad at kind of doing that, so I just ignore that. But one of the things I was trying to demonstrate there that I still don't think I was able to do is a lot of new drummers, especially young drummers I see, that I teach children, a lot of them, when they go to hit the drums, they're basically only making a downward motion when they're playing. Like, for example, let me try that again, like something like this. Now, that's being generous because a lot of them don't use their wrist that much, but I think I was showing you what I meant by only going down when they're hitting, or when you're hitting. And if you're trying to get in a good state of flow when you're playing the drums, pay close attention to when my arms are moving up. Okay, did you notice something about the snare there? I mean, it's happening on the hi-hat too, but the snare, it's really easy to tell what's going on and when I'm actually starting to move up before the hit. If you count that out, 1 and 2 and 3 and on the and. It's going up on the eighth note. So basically I am playing in time when I'm moving up, not just when I'm moving down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now if you can see my foot a little bit better, I guess you can see my knee. My foot is basically doing the same thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And see how it's going up on the and. And 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now if I speed that up and make it a little more complicated. Still happening. Still playing on time when my limbs are going up as well as when they're going down. Now, this is one of those things, like, playing drums is a little tricky. You can't think about it too much. If you're overthinking, you're going to mess up. The way I try to explain it is like, think about when you're walking down the street. You're not thinking about every little step that you're taking, but you're thinking about you're going from point A to point B, and you basically just set your mind on where you're going, and then you just go there. And it's kind of like that with drumming, too. You just kind of like, you know what you want to do, but while you're in the process of doing it, you don't overthink it. If you start thinking about every little motion and every little grip you're doing, it's not to say you shouldn't pay attention, because you should check yourself every now and then to make sure you're holding the sticks right. I have a lot of videos on that, or check those if you haven't watched them already. But, you know, you don't want to be like sitting there obsessing over every little detail of your playing while you're playing. Kind of get it figured out beforehand, and then when you start playing, try to get in that natural state of flow. My snare's a bit too sensitive right now, but I can fix that later. Okay, so another thing. This is a big one when it comes to staying in flow through fills. A lot of my students, especially the young kids, when I'm teaching them a new fill, maybe the fill would be something like this. I'll do that again. Okay, so notice how when I played that fill, I was going right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. That was the general idea. Right, left, right, left, right. Now, a lot of times, what my students will do is they'll do this. They'll want to go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And I always try to get them not to do that. A lot of times they'll argue with me about it. You know, they'll be like, but why do I have to do it right, left, right, right, left, right? Because of flow. If you're trying to move around the drums and you're switching which hand you're leading with, like if I went right, left, right, right, left, right, if I'm trying to go to my tom 3, right, or sorry, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, sure, I could do it right there. But if you're going fast, you're going to start tripping up your hands. You're going to start hitting the sticks together, because what happens is you have to cross one hand under the other one or over the other one to get it to where it needs to go. And also, if you're playing 16th notes that are broken up, like say in a fill, you know, like what I was doing there, 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN, something like that. If you start switching the rights and lefts, it's just a bad habit to form, because what you want to do is have it so, like, say you were playing 16th notes the whole time, 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN. You want to basically just don't use the hand on the ones that you're leaving out, but then continue on with the hand that would have hit if you had left that 16th note in there. So, for example, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. So I'm leaving out the uhs, which is my left, and that's why I'm going back to the right. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. Okay, so those things I really find to be important when you're trying to learn how to have good feel on the drums. Another one, I mean, the biggest one is just staying relaxed. You have to be relaxed. You cannot play drums successfully if you're stiff. If you're playing like this and your muscles are very tense when you're playing, it's never going to sound good, it's never going to feel good, and you won't be able to play very fast. So you have to become relaxed when you play. And how to do that? Like, a lot of people are like, well, how do I play relaxed? How can I force my body to be relaxed? You really can't, because it's an oxymoron. You can't force relaxation. You have to ease into it. So if you're playing at a speed where it's impossible for you to play relaxed, then you need to slow it down and learn how to play it relaxed at that speed first, and then gradually speed it up. Eventually, you will become relaxed at pretty much all the speeds you need. But in the beginning, if you're unable to stay relaxed when you're playing faster, then just play slower. That's what you have to do. Sometimes, though, you know, you don't have a choice. I remember when I was like really young, I was like 14 or something, and playing in a hardcore band. And we used to cover a lot of like Bad Brain songs and just these really fast hardcore punk songs. And I was really young, and I could play pretty good already, but I remember playing these type of beats when I was really young, and that was really difficult for me to do on the hi-hat through an entire song back then. I could do it easily now, but back then I remember, you know, getting stiff and my right hand, you know, the sweat being on my stick and the stick starting to slide slowly out of my hand, and then I'd be like barely hanging on to it, and then the stick feels even heavier. And that would happen a lot, but I kind of forced my way through it, and maybe that did help a little bit, because it basically got those muscles to be strong enough to where I could start to relax them. So sometimes you have no choice of playing stiff, but you don't want it to make a habit out of it. I don't know. That's just sort of, you know, one of those, I know it's a little contradictory, but that's how it worked for me. But I was concentrating on trying to stay relaxed. I remember even when I was playing fast like that, because my drum teacher then told me the same stuff I'm telling you guys, was saying, you know, you have to stay relaxed. So I remember, you know, I would try to do, you know, doing fast stuff and like I feel myself getting stiff. And then one of the things you can do is just play a little less hard. And also say on a beat like that punk beat, you can actually start to leave out some of the hi-hats. This is an old punk rock trick. Actually, you could go like, say the beat is this. You can start leaving out some of those eighth notes or quarter notes on the hi-hat and just do this. Like you could put some of them in there and then just leave some out. Give yourself a little break, and nobody can really tell when you're doing that in the song. So anyway, hopefully you guys found this lesson helpful and educational. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. And yeah, let me know if you have any other questions related to this, if you have any comments. And be sure to check out my Amazon store down below if you need any drum stuff. And I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.